Hey, it's Megan and welcome here to the Wolterman Homestead. It is golden hour here on the homestead, so I figured it'd be the perfect time to take you on our first garden tour of the year. So come along and let's go check out the garden together. Now the medicinal garden behind me is doing really well, but that's a video for another day. When you first walk into this garden, there is this beautiful bed that is planted right here next to the greenhouse. Now this bed has some squash plants over here by the cattle panel, and then there is a variety of sunflowers and zinnias that are growing here along the greenhouse. I've got a lavender and some rosemary, and there's some yarrow in this bed as well. And then I threw in some ginger that had sprouted in the pantry, but I haven't really noticed that it's doing much this year. Last year it grew really good and we got a decent harvest, but this year doesn't seem to be doing anything. But that's the fun of gardening, trying and experimenting, trying and failing. But it's how we learn, and it's always fun. So this garden is a new garden for us this year. Now there are 3 beds on either side. This side of the garden has beautiful pepper plants of different varieties, and then there's a giant squash bed back here. I think there is like typical yellow squash, and there is a butternut squash, and then there's like a yellow zucchini, which has already been producing, and it is just delicious. It's amazing to grow things in your own garden again and not have the deer eat them, but to grow from seed and then see the beautiful seeds inside of what you grow, and to know and understand the power that one seed has. And it's just amazing. And how can you be a seed in somebody else's life? This bed back here is tomato plants. There are 3 beds just filled with beautiful tomatoes. And beside the tomatoes out front are onions. So there are onions and tomatoes and herbs planted in these beds. And then along this fence row, you have tomatoes at the bottom, and then there's all sorts of green beans. I think it's interesting as a gardener, you just learn. So these are they're a purple bean of some sort. You can see the beautiful lavender blossoms on these. Notice that there's no damage at all. And then when we come over to your traditional green beans, I think these are old Homestead beans. They're pole beans. But the Japanese beetles love them, and they're all about them. So I need to get some traps. Can anybody guess what happened right here? I'll give you a clue. It's that big fuzzy critter that decimated the garden in the valley, and that has Dylan's name on it. We have a mama deer, and she has 2 little baby fawns, and they typically have been staying their distance, but here lately she's noticed the garden, and so she's coming up here and checking it out. And so the kids have been doing their best at keeping her at bay with hooting and hollering and screaming, and she takes off running. But every once in a while you find her standing in the tree line staring at the garden. Literally, as I say, standing there. Oh, I can't turn it. She's right here. She's right there on the other side in the woods, right in here. She's standing there staring at me. This is Easton's race car ramp, but she's right there watching me film. So say hello. There's dinner come fall time. Anywho, the beds, there are 2 beds back here behind the greenhouse. Now these beds, it's all an experiment because this is the first year of this garden. But these beds don't seem to be doing as well because the sun. I'm guessing the greenhouse is kind of blocking, because you see how big these guys are compared to the squash plants back here. They were all planted about the same time. So it's just a difference in the sun. So think about that whenever you're planting your gardens and whatnot. So this bed is all watermelons. And then there had been like a squash plant on the very end that I was going to kind of trail up the fence back here. And then this bed over here, there are a couple squashes on this end of the trellis. And then there's a great big one right here. I had planted more watermelon in between there, but they just didn't grow very well once I transplanted them. Not sure why that is. But again, that's the fun of gardening. It's all an experiment, and you have your trials and your successes and your failures, but it's the fun of it. It's where we learn. And then of course, there's a bench, because every garden needs to have a bench so the gardener can sit and watch and look and learn. And for me, in my garden, choked up as I say this, but it is my sanctuary. It is my place of worship. It is where I find God the most, in his creation, amongst his design, and amongst his goodness. Thank you for joining me today here in the garden. Be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what you're growing this year. What are some of your successes for this year so far? And what are some things that you've struggled with? And maybe other viewers can help encourage you. Maybe I have some advice on gardening and whatnot. But I am just excited for this garden season and to watch everything grow and thrive and learn. It's a beauty, learning and enjoying the little things. Because I know Evelyn's gonna eat this the minute it comes inside. She's my cucumber fan. But be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and we honestly post more over on Facebook or Instagram, so be sure to go check us out there. May Adonai bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you, and may he give you his shalom. Until next time, guys, take care.